Welcome back friends. Today topic is step by step guide to select stock for your portfolio. Normally professionals they struggle and they go from channel to channel to select stock for their portfolio, and in that process they'll burn their finger. It is very important to develop love with the stock market. If you want to be a successful investor or you want to have a successful investing career, just to quote an example, normally I have seen that almost in all the love marriages, the partners are either the classmates or they are from the same society or apartment complex or some common place where they have been seeing each other. So unless you see each other, unless you see something, you will never develop love for it. Similarly, unless you start exploring stock market, you will never develop a love for it, and unless you have love for it, you can never maximize your gain for long term. So with that, let's get going. So how we do the selection? The basic principle in selection is before we start selecting a stock, we do a big analysis. We go top down. Now industry analysis could be a work of economist and it might take a lot of time. So you might get switched off. Why I don't have time to do it? So I am going to tell you a very simple 8 valuable way of industry analysis. Second thing is, having done that, then we move to second level, which is peer analysis. Like in that industry, which are the company we are operating, and then we choose maybe 2 or 3 of them. And then after that, we go to the company analysis and do various things. So today, I am going to explain to you the very simple way of doing all these without getting into and bothering you with a lot of complexity. Although the whole process could be complex, the analyst who spent a lot of time doing this. But you as an investor will work like a manager. Somebody's recommendation you are going to pick up and quickly evaluate that based on these criteria and take a judgment and then invest. That's the goal of this video. So let us get going. Coming back to industry analysis. Since you don't have time and you need to develop love for stock market, very short and sweet way is look at the latest interview of some of the industry veteran. Like just to give you some example, you can look at the interview of Ridham Desai. He was interviewed by G Business recently, and in each interview the anchors will ask them, give me 2 or 3 segments which you think will have a good prospect for next 10 years, and these guys will talk those 4 industry segments. So you can list down segments by as per Ridham Desai, as per Ramdev Agarwal, or as per Sameer Arora of Helios Capital, and you could pick up many more. I am just giving these 3 names as an example. So once you do that, look at those industry segments which are converging. That will be a sure short way of doing it. But some of the cases, if you are agreeing to the logic of someone, and even though it is not converging, still you can select that. For example, here Morgan Stanley recently came up with a detailed report about 150 pages. Next 10 years is going to be India's 10 years. Sorry, next decade is India's decade. That is the theme of this report. And in that report, Mr. Desai, Ridham Desai, who is the MD of Morgan Stanley India, he mentioned that 4 industry segment could be very interesting. Like industry like financial, if economy has to grow, financial has to play a role. Second is consumption, because more and more people will become rich. So consumption, both FMCG as well as durables, they will perform better. Third is industrials, because a lot of production switch is happening to India. And fourth is going to be technology, because technology will be a driver. Now, having said so, once you choose the industry segment, then you go to the peer analysis. Now, with help of certain example, I'll pick up an example. They look at the peer of that company, let's say some chemical company, and tell you how to choose a 2 or 3 companies from that peer. So obviously, the second page is going to be more of a fundamental analysis, and that I have decided some criteria which is on the dashboard of screener, and I explain you those criteria, and then we'll go selecting a stock based on those criteria. So here I just picked up Sumitomo Chemical, because chemical industry I am looking at. Now look at this is the dashboard which I have created. You may like to choose them because these are widely used by leading analysts, as well as I have been using it all the time. Now P is important, dividend yield for your regular income, but I think good number of cases the gain comes from not the dividend income but from the capital appreciation, which I have discussed in some video earlier. So ROE and ROCE both should be more than 15%, higher the better. So here that qualifies. ROCE certainly should be higher than cost of capital, which is 15% or lesser. So therefore I say 15% in both the cases. Then promoter holding is important. Now important here is also FI holding. So FI endorsing some stock means stock is good. Sales growth in 3 years and 5 years. This should be more than 10%. So 10% is the sort of like minimum. Less than that you should not choose a company. Then profit similarly grows in 3 years and 5 years. Look, both are 36 and 47. Debt equity ratio. Normally high leverage means if the industry is doing good, they may make profit, but the moment 2 or 3 years are not good with the company, debt becomes a burden and company gets really pressed under debt. So if you have an option of choosing zero debt company or choosing a company which is close to zero, that is the best. So normally, like in this case, Sumitomo appears to be a very good company here. And finally, free cash flow. For 3 years positive, this has to be a positive number. So both the cases, this is positive. So at outset, Sumitomo Chemicals appears to be a good company. Now in terms of peer analysis, the same parameter I have put here in tabular form. So look at ROE. Highest appears to be 25 range here, which is Sumitomo, and also Aztec Life Sciences. So maybe you take top 2 or top 3 from this list on each parameter. And then similarly on OPM, operating profit margin, list the top 2 or top 3. Similarly on net profit margin, sales growth for 5 years and profit growth for 5 years. And based on that, you will be able to shortlist number 1 company. If they are you can have some scoring method at your end, like let's say a company coming number 1, and if you are doing top 3, give him 3 marks, number 2, 2 marks, and number 3, 1 mark on each parameter, and that way you can create some sort of comparison. Having done that, let's say we select Sumitomo Chemical. Now the next question comes, having selected Sumitomo Chemical, go to the price chart and look at the 10 years price. This will confirm the 200 days moving average is upward trending slope here. Now if it is not that way, then drop this company. I'll give you an example where it is not that. NMDC, look at the 200 days moving average. It is going like a sinusoidal curve. So this is not a growth stock from long term basis. This could be a stock from dividend angle or some other angle, but not on the having in your portfolio for long term. So this qualifies on that criteria because this is going here. Now then we talk about, is it the right price, available at the right price to make an entry? For doing that, there are analysis like technical analysis. I am bringing from time to time some videos on different patterns. I have a course available already on this actually, candle analysis, and some more courses I am working on. So you can find various resources from where you can write technical analysis. But without getting into technical analysis, the basic things you can do is just look at if the price is lower than 200 moving average or close to 200 moving average. So here if I look at, this was one of the good entry point, this was another good entry point, third good entry point, and even now this is higher but not that much higher. So this could be some sort of point for entry. You can think that way. Very rude method, but very, I would say, very effective method. Having done that, we'd like to find out whether this particular stock is valued appropriately, whether it is the time to get into it. For doing this, I look at the PE ratio, which is the valuation parameter. Now here, median, look at the 10 years. I will look at 10, 5, 3 and 1 and give 1 point for each one of them. So you can go on scoring on different parameters and give points on them, and then you can take a selection. This is undervalued and then you can buy. Look at here. 10 years, it is quite low, so it passes 1 point. Similarly, 5 years, quite lower than the median, another point, so 2 points. 3 years, again lower than the median, third point, and 1 year, again same way lower than the median. This means Sumitomo Chemicals have passed our analysis on all the 4 by 4 score it has got. Now when I take EV by EBITDA, again 5 years, let's look at 10 years. Again it scores, it is undervalued, 5 years it is undervalued, 3 years it is undervalued, and 1 year it is undervalued. So it scores 8 by 8, which is very unique. So very safely you can conclude that Sumitomo Chemical is not overpriced. It is underpriced. Look friends, intrinsic value is a concept in fundamental analysis, but it is very hard to find out intrinsic value. So this is a method which I have explained to you, could be short and sweet method of evaluating and taking a conclusion that this stock is not overvalued. So having done that, what you could do is, you can, if you are finding this okay, then you can select this stock in your portfolio. Now also you can look at the profit growth, etc. Operating margin you look at 25% margin. Couple of years they have been, these are COVID years, so there was some pressure, but current year it is doing very good. Now profit before tax, look at the growth here. How it has been growing. Like if you look at the 10 years time frame, it is almost like 18 times, 10 times profit has grown. So annual scale also, if you look at, this is same, you can look at P&L and all those, and then you can conclude. So what I have discussed is how a stock, without going and getting disturbed with the nitty-gritties and details of analysis, you can do a short and sweet analysis. If you don't want to take even this much pain, my suggestion would be stay away. Don't ask people tips. Believe me, tips not going to help you. And what I have explained is for investor. Investor means those who are investing for long term. His perspective is, or his horizon is more than at least 2-3 years. A long term is 5 years plus actually, but minimum 3 years. Then even though you select a stock, it goes down by 10%, don't worry about it. Work with confidence, you are going to succeed. Other category of investors are traders who are trying to maximize or optimize gain on swings. So this method is not applicable to traders. This is applicable only to investors. And I believe that if you have 8 hours of job, you don't have time for trading. You have time for investing. That is one of the reasons I thought, let us put a short video of maybe 10-12 minutes which people can look at and make their investment journey more pleasing. So I hope you like this video. If you liked it and you have not subscribed to the channel, please do it. And also, I am requesting you to circulate to your social media and encourage your friends, relatives to join this channel. By doing this, we can do good to the larger investing community. My goal is to bring knowledge bits to you, and also from time to time, I do make videos on certain stocks. And as I have discussed, this is not a guarantee for making 100% gain, but your risk will be drastically reduced. That is what we want. And the moment you take a long-term horizon, riskiness of your investment will be very low and you will make a sure short gain. So thank you very much for your time and stay engaged.